unified command.
And we have some breaking news on KCAL9. Fire officials are holding a news conference on the Woolsey fire.
Let's go live to Thousand Oaks where they are giving an update. Let's listen.
Afterwards, I'd like to bring up from our law branch from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Commander Scott Gage.
Good afternoon. We realize this is a stressful time for everyone, and we share your concerns for the safety of your families, your pets, and your property. We greatly appreciate the patience and cooperation that we have experienced from the members of our community. The incident management team has determined the need to have all residents out of the fire area remain evacuated for their safety. To ensure the department has enough staffing available to protect property in the evacuated areas, Sheriff Jim McDonald has ordered the majority of the department to begin working 12-hour rotational shifts. This will allow us to deploy approximately 500 deputy sheriffs in the area on a 24-hour basis. This also gives us resources to respond to any other emergency that should arise. We're working in partnership with Animal Control in regards to the safety of animals. As I speak, we have ongoing rescue missions involving animals. Although evacuation orders have been lifted for certain areas in Ventura County, Los Angeles County officials are warning residents affected by the Woolsey fire do not return to your homes. The evacuation zones have not been rendered clear or safe by first responders. We understand other counties may be planning to repopulate, but Los Angeles County officials have not lifted evacuation orders. Mandatory evacuations in affected cities are Agoura, Calabasas, Hidden Hills, Malibu, and Westlake Village. All of the road closures remain in effect, and for information of that, you can go to www.lacounty.gov/Woolsey Fire. Approximately 3,500 students at Pepperdine University continue to shelter in place on the campus. They all remain safe, and we continue to work with university and public safety officials to ensure that they have adequate resources. LA State Homicide Bureau continues to investigate the death of what we believe to be 2 adult individuals. The victims were located Friday, November 9th, inside a burned vehicle in the area off of Mulholland Highway in the unincorporated area of Malibu. As this is an early assessment of the incident, detectives believe that the driver may have become disoriented while evacuating the area and the vehicle was overcome by fire. The names of the decedents have not been released, pending the positive identification by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. This investigation continues, and we will provide evidence collected at the scene. And once again, we thank you and the public for their patience and the cooperation of our partners as we continue to work through this major fire event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up from the Los Angeles Police Department, Lieutenant Eric Bixler.
All right, good evening. First, I'd like to say thank you very much to the citizens of Los Angeles. We have had 0 incidents of looting or burglary in the affected areas. However, we still have mandatory evacuations and nothing has changed. We have Van Owen to the north, Roscoe all the way north to Roscoe, from Valley Circle west to the county line. Those are still mandatory evacuations and no change. We have no evacuation orders south of the 101. So thank you very much for the citizens of Los Angeles for maintaining order. Doing that, appreciate it. But one more thing, contrary to social media, we are not escorting people into the fire zones for medication. If you need medication, contact your doctor or the emergency room. Do not ask for a police escort. We will not give that to you. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Next up from the Ventura County Sheriff's Department, Sergeant Eric Bouchot.
Good evening. Today in Ventura County, we had 130 law enforcement personnel patrolling the evacuated areas. I'm happy to report that we did not have any additional incidents of looting. Today was relatively quiet on the law enforcement side. We appreciate the public's cooperation during this difficult time. We know you're going through a lot. As far as repopulation, we expect some of the evacuated areas, we expect those evacuations to be lifted later this evening. We will announce those both by our emergency alert system and also through vcemergency.com. So as that information comes out, people can tune into that website, and that will have the latest up-to-date information. Again, I want to thank our law enforcement partners. The assistance we've gotten through mutual aid has been fantastic, and I know that it's appreciated by everyone in the community here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Next up, from our law enforcement partners, we have Governor's Office of Emergency Services Assistant Chief Ryan Smith.
Good afternoon. Since the onset of both the Hill and the Woolsey fire, the state's law enforcement master mutual aid plan has been activated, and that resulted in a significant response in law enforcement personnel from as far north as San Luis Obispo County and as far south as Orange County and San Bernardino County. Law enforcement personnel are deployed throughout the footprint of this fire. They're engaged in rescue operations, evacuation operations, and security checkpoints and patrols as well. The Governor's Office of Emergency Services will remain engaged with our stakeholder agencies to assist them throughout the conclusion of this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, from our fire branch of our Unified Command, we have Ventura County Fire Chief Mark Lorenzen.
Good evening. On behalf of Ventura County Supervisor Linda Parks, I just wanted to recognize an omission in this morning's press briefing, and that was our community of Oak Park that was hit rather hard with significant losses. So we are there behind them. I just wanted to recognize today the amazing efforts of our first responders out there who saved literally hundreds of structures. But as we talked about at previous press conferences, Mother Nature is still working against us. We saw yesterday we had a lull in the weather, and obviously today the winds picked up, and that is what we're going to see over the next 3 days, is the ebbs and flows of the winds and the challenges that causes us. So again, my message is, and I will repeat it over and over again, is that we need our community members to be an active participant with our success. And that means, again, please heed our evacuation warnings. Please do not repopulate areas until you are noticed that it's okay to do so. And also be aware, more evacuations will likely come, and we need you just to be aware and be alert and be ready to go when those warnings come. Thank you.
Next up, from our Unified Fire Command from the Los Angeles Fire Department, Deputy Chief Trevor Richmond.
Thank you and good evening. On behalf of Mayor Eric Garcetti, Fire Chief Ralph Terrazas, the Los Angeles Fire Department maintains a significant commitment to the incident, primarily along the eastern flank of the fire, where presently we have about 50 fire engines working in that area. We did experience some flare-ups late this morning, and we were able to mobilize resources and move them into the area quickly. We have no additional structures lost today. Red flag, no parking restrictions will remain in effect through tomorrow. We will reevaluate that decision tomorrow evening. Right now, the Los Angeles Fire Department still maintains a unified command posture with Los Angeles County Fire Department and the Ventura County Fire Department. I would also like to thank the Orange County Fire Authority. They were able to offer up fire engines to staff some of our fire stations while those fire resources were actively engaged in the firefight. So a big thank you to Orange County Fire Authority and Chief Hennessy. Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to ask Los Angeles County Fire Chief Daryl Osby up to the podium.
All right, well, thank you. Daryl Osby, Fire Chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. And on behalf of our Honorable Supervisor Sheila Q in the 3rd District, I would like to thank everybody here for their attendance and all the hard work that they've done in her district. Today was a very challenging day, but today we've had some huge successes in the regards that we've had some significant flare-ups as articulated from the Fire Chief from Los Angeles City and Bell Canyon. That was concerning to us because if that got out of Bell Canyon, that could wrap around to the south side and come in behind Topanga Canyon and maybe Pacific Palisades, and they were able to keep that tight and buttoned up, so that was outstanding work from the Los Angeles City Fire Department. and other parts of the incident. We had some significant flare-ups in some of our wind-prone canyons along PCH in Malibu, and we got firefighters in there to keep those flare-ups within containment lines. Unfortunately, we're still being hampered by people that have not evacuated. I know that's been mentioned over and over and over again in relation to evacuations and animals, and when we have to confront those types of situations within the fire scene, it takes away from our firefighters' ability to protect your structures and help with containment. Our focus for the remainder of the day and night will continue to build containment lines. As I mentioned, we were successful today with our aircraft, hardening our containment lines. We will have our fire crews and our camp personnel working all night to increase containment and work on hotspots. As mentioned earlier today, or in this press conference, we're expecting similar fire behavior and winds tomorrow. So there's still a possibility, tonight and tomorrow, so there's still a possibility for flare-ups and embers to get beyond our containment lines, but we're working very diligently to ensure that doesn't happen. I know that a lot of you are really concerned about the loss and damage of structures within this incident. Since yesterday, we've had damage assessment teams working around the clock, trying to get updated numbers. I still don't have a better number than from this morning, which I mentioned 177 structures lost, but I'm confident that when we have our next briefing tomorrow morning, we'll have a better number in relation to those structures lost, but we know that we've had significant structure loss and that number will increase. Earlier today, I had an opportunity to meet with state officials from the governor's office. The director of OES was down, the chief of CAL FIRE, the general of the National Guard was there, and the director of CHP. So we had a fruitful conversation in relation to mutual aid and support, and we're trying to manage resources between this fire and our region in Northern California, and from those relationships ongoing throughout the incident, we've been receiving more resources here to help us locally to combat this fire. I cannot say enough about our first responders that have been working around the clock as it relates to protecting life of structures and trying to get containment. I think that's been mentioned enough, but I do want to thank the citizens here and our politicians that have been here for the outcrying and outpouring of support for our first responders as it relates to food and accolades and offering any type of support that we can get. And also, too, some of our secondary responders that are kind of the unsung heroes. Our water purveyors, we worked around the clock with them. There were situations when we almost ran out of water, but we worked with them to ensure that we kept water in the tanks. Our utility company, Southern California Edison, who kept all of our fire pumps going even though there's power outages, and where they couldn't keep power, they provided emergency generators. Southern California Gas as it relates to gas lines, Caltrans as it relates to keeping our roads open. It was mentioned earlier, and I want to mention it one more time, as it relates to transversing roads. If you're still evacuating, that we have a lot of loose gravel, so be careful about landslides. And then we still have a lot of down power lines that we don't know if they're charged or not. You can't tell, so if you see a down power line, be extremely careful. In conclusion, I would just say that we're going to work all night to continue to increase our containment lines, and we'll have a better report in the morning. Thank you very much.
Chief, do you have any update on acreage?
Our acreage is still at 83,275. There might be a few more acres than I mentioned this morning, but most of the flares were within the footprint of the fire, so none of those flares exceeded outside our containment lines. Right now, we're still going with 10% containment. We're going to work all night. We're going to have better intel as far as an updated report in the morning as it relates to acreage and containment lines.
Are you aware, or is anyone aware of any structures that burned today?
I've received no reports of structures that have burned today. We're still doing assessments to the structures that have burned to get a good number. Then also, too, we've had a lot of structures in a lot of canyons. We weren't exactly sure if all the citizens evacuated safely. So we're doing inspections of those facilities to make sure that they're also safe.
What area? Because it seems like this may have been a very successful day as far as limiting additional destruction of structures.
Today was a better day. We worked all night last night to put out hot spots. We have more resources here today to put more resources out around the structures to combat hotspots, and the complexity of evacuations wasn't as dynamic today as it's been in the past. So our firefighters were able to focus more of their attention on protecting structures and containment lines.
Earlier you mentioned the eastern and western flanks as being potentially at risk, but is it your belief at the moment that the actual fire burn area is where you're most concerned about any expansion?
We're concerned about the footprint of the fire, especially in the interior, because there are some areas that haven't burned. There are some structures that have not burned, that are not out of danger. And at this point, when we have wind events like we've had today, we lose a lot of structures by embers flying in the air, so we're trying to get all those hot spots out. And to my understanding, we've lost no additional structures today within the perimeter of the fire. We've had a few minor firefighter injuries, musculoskeletal type injuries, sprains and strains, but nothing major to our firefighters. I've emphasized firefighter safety. I know that we talk a lot about public safety, but we don't want to have any of our firefighters be fatally injured in this fire, and it's been very challenging for us, especially when we've had firefighters from outside the region going to some of these dark, smoky, burning canyons at night. But fortunately, no major injuries to our firefighters.
Chief, it's almost dark. How much is the loss of air support when it's dark?
When it's dark, we lose a significant amount of aircraft. As a matter of fact, none of our fixed wing aircraft flies at night. The only copters we have that fly at night are from LA City Fire Department and Los Angeles County Fire Department with our Firehawks. And so they'll be flying 24 hours around the clock.
Overall, was this an encouraging day? I know you don't have completely surrounded. I know the fire's still burning. I know you have wind coming up. But based on what you were faced with today, was this an encouraging day?
To date, as I stand here at this moment, it's encouraging that none of the flare-ups exceeded the containment lines. This morning we were truly concerned about that. There's parts within the footprint where houses haven't burned, so we were successful in ensuring no more structures were burned. And then, as mentioned by my counterpart from LA City, that was really a concern of ours because there's a lot of fuel south of us where the fire has not burned, and behind Mulholland and Topanga Canyon and Pacific Palisades. And so my hat's off to LA City. They were able to keep that fire contained in Bell Canyon because I was truly concerned about it. So they were very successful in that endeavor. So today was actually better, and we're looking forward to more successes tonight and tomorrow. Yeah, it's forecasted to spike. We have a low right now, but we're going to expect more winds up to 40 miles per hour. So we're not out of the woods tonight, so we all need to remain vigilant and not let this low let our guard down, that we're going to have firefighters around the clock until this fire is put out to ensure that we contain this fire to the footprint that it's at right now. All right, well, thank the media, and we really appreciate your support here as it relates to the public education and also being a partner in keeping our citizens safe. So thank you very much.
I'd like to just conclude tonight with a couple of online resources you guys can go to get the most recent fire information. We've stood up a website at the LA County EOC. It's lacounty.gov/Woolsey. That's WOOLSEY. We also have on the Sheriff's Department Twitter feed at LASDHQ. And then, of course, what we've been updating the fire information on throughout the incident at LA County Fire PIO. And we'd also like to encourage you to go to fire.lacounty.gov RSG. That's our Ready, Set, Go program. Has a lot of tools in there for folks in the fire area to plan, create defensible space, and make a plan to evacuate early. Thanks a lot for your attendance.
And we're just listening to a media briefing from fire officials urging people to remain evacuated in the Woolsey and Hill fire areas, basically telling them that there could be more evacuations down the line.
Exactly, and they did say that today was good in the fact that there were no additional structures that were lost today. However, 177 structures have been lost from the Woolsey fire, and there were 2 people, of course, that were found dead.
And we'll have much more on this coming up on CBS 2 at 5 o'clock. So turn your channel to Channel 2. We'll see you then.